Science has the power to change the world, solve the toughest problems, and shape the future. But science is just science until you apply it to something. Make it do something. Change something. No one knows this better than 3M. Our science is in over 50,000 products. The average person uses 3M science many times a day and doesn't even know it. But it's everywhere, supporting 46 separate technology platforms and continuously driving our innovations. 3M science is how the magic happens, except it's not magic. It's the right science applied the right way so that it makes life easier, better, and safer for people around the world. 3M science is in manufacturing, healthcare, electronics, energy, safety, consumer products, and much, much more. No other company uses science like we do. Just look around. That's 3M science applied to life.
Good morning. Welcome to MFC Group's FasTech seminar series hosted by Mel Foster, EAS Sales, and TMC. Thank you for joining us. Today we're spotlighting Conquering EMI Challenges, Expert Insights from 3M. Our speaker for this seminar is Joe Petrie. As a member of the 3M Electronic Assembly Solutions team with a focus on EMI, RFI, and thermal management design challenges, Joe helps customers solve their complex and dynamic design challenges. For 30 years, Joe has used his expertise and 3M's material science capabilities to create the next generation of electronics. Joe's application knowledge, energy, and passion help customers solve their problems with innovative 3M solutions. Everyone is muted, so please type any questions that you have into the chat, and we'll be happy to answer those throughout the presentation. And we'll also have a brief Q&A at the end, and I'll unmute everybody then if you'd like to ask questions. And with that, Joe, I will turn it over to you.
Hey, thank you so much, Amanda. This is Joe Petrie from the 3M Electronic Assembly Solutions, and I am so pleased to have been invited to share our portfolio with each of you here today, helping customers solve design challenges. Someone couldn't hear, but they're going to rejoin, which is excellent. If you're having any problems with the audio or anything, just please write something in the chat and we'll adjust accordingly. Mel Foster's and the EAS TMC are an extension of 3M. They're there with our customers, listening to their design challenges, and then leveraging the broader 3M company to help you solve your engineering challenges and work together. So by all means, we're grateful to have been invited to present this today. And let's proceed with our discussion on electronic in EMI solution. 3M has actually been in this area for many, many years. And what customers don't really realize is that they have access to the same products that some of the leading consumer electronics manufacturers use in today's and next year's devices. And when we talk with customers, there's a tremendous amount of 3M products, like in that video. Our products are everywhere, but they are inside. They enable the technology. They enable the performance. They help with reliability. So there's many areas that we can assist you on in your engineering and design challenges. But today we were going to focus on EMI and RFI shielding. There's a lot of products that we had that go into a printed circuit board, and I'm not here to talk just about products. I'm here to talk about markets, applications, and then products, because the applications may be in a different market segment, but are similar to what you are working on today. Most of the connected devices today, they're all going to have a printed circuit board, and that's why 3M's electronic assembly solutions are an important part of next generation technology. And when you think about your applications, our portfolio can be divided into these categories of products. But again, it's the application. Are you working on masking, high temperature masking with clean removability? Are you working on cooling, helping electronic devices run cooler? Are you working on EMI shielding? Are you working on grounding? Are you trying to pass electromagnetic compliance? You can even pass that EMC compliance testing using some of our absorbing materials. And 3M is known for bonding tapes, but some applications need extremely clean adhesives for those bond lines. And so they rely on electronic assembly solutions for bonding tapes. Cushioning and damping, vibration damping are part of our business too, and maybe needed in your assemblies. But today, we're focusing on EMI and RFI. Again, I'm at a high level, what is that? And how is it created? And many of you that are here in attendance today know that there are some tough challenges that can be difficult to solve related to electronics assembly. Putting something together can, in its nature, create radiated emissions that then affect surrounding electronics and devices. How you assemble that device, how you ground things to the ground plane, or assemble things in such a way that they are shielded from unwanted EMI, can all be achieved, with 3M's electronic assembly solutions and these tapes that I'm going to discuss a little bit today. It's really about that electromagnetic compliance, EMC compliance. You've got to pass, and we will be there helping with materials when needed. There's many markets that we play in today. Our sales team talks to people in all kinds of different assemblies, from general industrial to automotive. These rolling computers are more complex than ever. And inside are the needs for grounding or EMI shielding, or even magnetic shielding because of the electric powertrains. So automotive applications and all the complex electronics that go with that are markets in which we support. Second big market that we support would be aerospace and defense. I'm so proud to work on applications that really make a difference in the safety and effectiveness of markets. And we're personally super happy that the performance of our conductive PSAs work in space applications with unique performance requirements that make them very unique but extremely reliable for the overall mission. So at a high level, these are applications, these are markets where we play, and examples of some products that are suitable for those applications and markets. But like I said earlier, there's much crossover between markets, and maybe even relevant to the device you're working on. We help with EMI shielding, radio frequency interference, or grounding. And these tapes that we have are easy to use, can be very cost effective and quick to implement. They're high performing and reliable. And that's a differentiation area that many are searching for. They want to know the performance of a product and its reliability over its use. And the data that 3M has about the performance of our products are of extreme value to electronics companies, general industrial companies, automotive, aerospace customers, and who's looking for overall reliability. These are typical applications where we're helping shield displays from external electromagnetic interference. We're grounding flexible printed circuits to reduce any radiated emissions that may occur over the length of that printed circuit. We're bonding Faraday cages onto a circuit board instead of doing through-hole grounding, using two-sided conductive tapes with very, very high shielding effectiveness for those Faraday cages. And some applications are so thin, they've reduced that metal cage to a metal can that uses a piece of tape for the lid. And so these applications, at a high level, they cross over all kinds of markets or industries, and potentially you're working on some today. Markets, applications, I'm going to continue with additional application discussions. Here's navigation systems, cameras. There are electrically conductive tapes that are used within assemblies that provide absorption of radiated emissions or shielding of external EMI, or even ensuring that the system itself is grounded fully with single or double-sided conductive pressure-sensitive adhesives. Our products are designed to operate in different environments, from high humidity to cold. And as we discuss applications with our customers, we often are very lucky to have the portfolio that helps satisfy the toughest design challenges. Here's an example where a display may be being affected by external electromagnetic interference. We have conductive tapes that are extremely conformable with high adhesion, which allows the display manufacturer to effectively shield the perimeter with a very thin, high adhesion tape that provides excellent external shielding. So I was going to focus today on EMI shielding and grounding tapes. However, we do have an entire portfolio that is used for EMI absorption, which is typically used in and around communication type frequencies, okay? Higher megahertz through gigahertz range. But we also have a number of products used for magnetic shielding, potentially related to power supplies, things down in the hertz to kilohertz range. I wasn't going to talk about that in great detail today, but if there's interest, you can always reach out to Mel Foster's team, who will bring us in, and we can go into further discussions about those absorbing and magnetic shielding products. So it does start with a discussion of what's the frequency? Where's the problem lie? Do you have that test report from the testing house that shows me where the frequencies are and how far they're above the threshold, so that we can select a potential way to mitigate that or reduce that to help that electromagnetic compliance? And so we often want to really, if you can, share with us the frequencies that you're targeting, and then we can help address the situation by selecting the right product. Again, today we're talking about grounding, EMI shielding, but it could in fact be a peel and stick absorber. So we'll always talk and want to know about frequencies. Hey, do take a note at that screen there. The magnetic shielding materials are in the kilohertz, the low hertz range. And so that we'll save that for another day. And then you can see how our 3M absorbers, again, peel and stick, near field absorbers, can be applied directly on a noise source or above the victim that's susceptible to the external noise to help protect it from surrounding interference. So different ways of doing it, different products. Your application often dictates which way we go. So lots of great information we have published in selection guides. And again, we talk about applications. When you see these icons in our selection guides, it gives you credence that, yes, I'm working on shield can lids. I'm looking for a single-sided tape to do shielding. I'm looking for a double-sided tape that might be used for bond line shielding. And our selection guides continue to pull through these icons to help narrow down the portfolio to the most, let's say, best potential product. Hey, here's an example.
Simple little demo board using one of our conductive pressure sensitive adhesives bonded to some iso-loss polyurethane foam. When I apply an electrical charge to the tape, it actually creates a circuit to turn on the LED light.
Simple little demo board that we created to help explain the fundamentals of grounding. You can use a tape to carry an electrical signal. And when that demo board, I mean, it's pretty basic, you know, but when we showed that to people, they wanted to know the electrical resistance immediately. That's what was important to them. So our single coated, flexible fabric tape, very low electrical resistance. Well, how low? And is that on the levels of like a copper tape? And we have that data that helps them understand if that's a good fit for their application. Hey, the second quick little video here is for like bond line shielding. You know, I came up with this little idea about using, oops, hold on one sec. I came up with this little idea to demonstrate connected devices communicating at 2.4 gigahertz.
3M shielding demo. Right now I've got my music playing wirelessly. I put it in my copper shielding bag and the music stops.
So that is just a, you know, again, basic little video talking about shielding. And what's different about that though is I've done that demo with some legacy products that were not designed to operate at today's speeds. And the demo was not as effective. And that's what 3M has done with this portfolio over the years, is we've continued to re-engineer, recreate, and develop new products that then are suitable for today's and tomorrow's electronic systems. So again, now I'm going to take it from markets. There's basic applications. Again, you could see them here on the slide. And then I'm going to go into specific products a little bit, just at a high level. I don't want to kill you with product numbers and things, but basically we have a number of different peel and stick conductive tapes. Some of them are single-sided tapes. This might be a conductive backing, but it also has a high-performance conductive adhesive. Other constructions could be double-sided tapes where we've got a carrier, but the conductive PSAs top and bottom, which are needed for different sorts of applications. For example, I'm doing a shield. I want to shield a display. Just like on the screen here, I've got a display wrap icon up here where I need a single-sided tape. Here is a shield can lid. The metal lid of the Faraday cage has been replaced with a single-sided conductive PSA from 3M. PIM management, passive intermodulation, can be mitigated, reduced through the use of single-sided tapes. Double-sided tapes that are electrically conductive are used for sensor grounding. You could put them between things to do static discharge. You can bond line shield or attach that Faraday cage to the circuit board itself with a double-sided conductive tape, and flexible printed circuit grounding to reduce radiated emissions along the length of that flex circuit is another common application for the double-sided tapes. So our portfolio, like I said, has been changed over the years, and it's keeping up with today's electronics. But in mind, what we're doing and working on is constantly improving the products. The requirements might be, we have a smaller and smaller contact area, and therefore I need lower and lower electrical resistance. So these new products from 3M are ideal for high adhesion, low electrical resistance, and convert it in a manner that has a small contact area for today's smaller and smaller devices. High adhesion reliability. We have developed adhesive systems for our automotive customers who would say to us, ADC, 80% relative humidity, continuous operation. We have data that supports the stability of our electrical resistance and adhesion under those varying environmental conditions. There's different levels of different types of constructions based on your need for conformability. We have conductive nickel copper plated polyester fabric tapes that have extremely good conformability with very, very high adhesion. And then we've got your traditional copper tapes that have even lower electrical resistance and are made in such a way that makes them extremely cost effective over products in the marketplace because of how they're constructed and just how thin they are. There are products in our portfolio with 4-year shelf lives. All the information is published about it being halogen free, compliant with all the regulatory requirements that are ever changing. And that's a few examples of why 3M has been a reliable partner for so many in this space for EMI shielding and grounding. So let me introduce you at a high level to our basic 4 products. There's about 30 in the portfolio, but these 4 are often where we'd like people to start. The conversations will determine whether these are suitable. However, these are high-performing products with a value proposition that makes them extremely good candidates for next-generation electronics. Products, for example, on the left here is our 5113 double-sided fabric tape or 5113 single-sided fabric tape. These are 2 mil constructions, very, very thin, with 4-year shelf lives, super low contact resistance for small contact areas, and they utilize a specialized 3M adhesive that enables the 5113 to have a continuous operating temperature up to 105 C, which is not common in today's conductive PSA marketplace. Other go-to products in our portfolio include the 1050TC. This is a thin copper tape. You're all familiar with copper tapes. In fact, 3M 1181 is a go-to copper tape for so many, many people, and we thank them for that. However, next generation technology, thinner is pushing the demands for thinner and thinner copper tapes. And this particular product is a total of 1 mil thin copper, which includes the PSA. And if you're needing that level of shielding or contact resistance, very high, this would be a great product to look at also for its cost. You know, think about the tape here. I got a 1 mil tape. If I compared that to a 3 mil copper tape, you can kind of do the math in your head right there and figure out real quick which one might be the most cost effective. So 1050TC is our go-to copper tape. And just to show off or brag a little bit, we do have this transfer tape. It's a layer of adhesive filled with conductive silver particles, but we make it in such a way that it's an anisotropic conductive tape. It only transfers the electrical current in the Z-axis, perfect for grounding. But this tape also does something else, and I referred to it earlier. It has extremely low outgassing and passes all the standards established by NASA for things that are flying above the Earth today. And I am very grateful to, and proud, I should say then, to know that 9703 is doing its job in lower orbit. So, hey, if you wanted to get some samples of these core products, reach out to Mel Foster, EAS, TMC, and they'll work with us to get you a demo kit of the core products for your evaluation and use in next generation electronics. Grounding, EMI shielding, sensor grounding. It's a cross section of our materials that you'll find very useful and beneficial to have on your workbench when you're working on different designs. Here I'm switching gears, and I just wanted to talk again about the level of details that we have about the performance of our products, which gives customers a high level of confidence in reliability in their designs. We have a tremendous amount of data that describes the expected performance of our products in applications. And that's what's really important to many people. So when you pull down a data page on these core products, there'll be information in there that really paints a good picture for you as to whether it's suitable or not for your given application. Increasing your confidence and improving reliability, again, is what we feel we help customers achieve. Those fabric tapes, for example, are showcased right here, just at a high level. And if you look at the contact resistance here, we're talking about test methods, a 3M test method called ETM 7 and 12. The test method itself uses a very small patch, a very small contact area. And the consumer electronics companies like this test method because it's more representative of today's assemblies. There were times, and there are products within 3M that are measured in a 1 square inch size contact area. And this is substantially smaller than that. We also have all the good information about adhesion. We typically do it on this steel, okay? But you could test it and evaluate it on your unique substrates by contacting Mel Foster to arrange to get samples of our products in your hands if you don't get the tape kit. Those are thin tapes for shielding and grounding. But foam over fabric is also a big product line in today's electronics, or conductive foams that are compressible and then used for EMI shielding. So 3M has a product line of conductive foams. And what is unique about that is the way that we sandwich these layers together. Think about it. If I have a very low density, thin foam, 1 millimeter, for example, if the operator is applying that, one operator may apply it, stretch it, and then the next operator puts it on a different way, and it now is maybe not grounded as properly as it could have been. I'm trying at a high level to help you envision why this is a benefit. Check this out. Our conductive foam, the compressible layer at the top, is also supported by a super thin conductive fabric with our conductive acrylic PSA. And why that conductive fabric in there is important is that when you die cut your parts and then apply them, that fabric gives the foam a stability. Every then part will be applied, and then they usually then maintain. They'll be applied in such a manner that they are all the same size. They're not stretched. They're not put on too crooked. They don't have a crease in them. That conductive fabric carrier in there is very advantageous for our conductive foam portfolio. Hey, these things too, this layer right here, it's 0.3 millimeters, 0.6, 1 millimeter. But now we've got the MSG7 that's going to be up to 3 millimeters thick in ranges of 0.5 millimeter. So if you've got conductive foam applications for gaskets, EMI shielding, please reach out and we can get samples in your hands for evaluation of our new conductive foams. So we work on all kinds of unique products, and I'm going to just finish with this last one. Some people have been asking us for a clear shielding tape. They want to see through it. Everything I've talked to you so far has been copper tape, a gray conductive fabric tape. We actually manufacture a clear conductive shielding tape. You can layer it with optically clear PSAs from 3M and ground it appropriately in your device with the perimeter that is made in such a way it has a large grounding area around the lens, so to speak. But this provides very good shielding up at higher frequency levels. And it has also been used to make transparent antennas. So think about the opportunity to improve communication signals and systems by creating a transparent antenna that could be placed on a window or on a sunroof or on a light within a home, car, or other type of vehicle. So, hey, unique kind of products here that we have within 3M's conductive PSA portfolio, and maybe there'll be something there that will work really well in your next generation assembly. So again, we'll finish our conversation today. Grounding, EMI shielding, 3M's a player and a reliable supplier in these areas for many, many years. And if absorbing, which is another way to mitigate this EMI, is of interest, please reach out to your Melfoster team and they'll contact us so we can have an additional conversation about our next portfolio, our absorber materials. We've got reps all over the United States. We are here to help and support. And we wanted to say thank you very much for our time today.